That's fine. We'll just start this class. So welcome, everyone. Today we're going to do a couple of different things. It's not only yoga that we're doing. We're going to also do a couple of other techniques that we've used in a previous class that I taught, just to mix it through each other. It's a really nice way to get into our bodies. So yoga is not the only thing we're doing, but what we will do is focus on our breath and our movement. So I'd like to invite you to come and stand. Just take a stand and maybe your feet a bit wider than your hips. And then we're going to start with shaking that we've done already a couple of times in previous classes that I taught. And it's a really good way to activate every cell in our body. So you can do this with your eyes closed. You can do this with your eyes open. But what we do is connect our breath with our movements. So you see that my knees are bouncing, but are bending. But it's not that I'm coming off the floor. You can just keep your feet, your soles of your feet connected to the floor. And try to let your shoulders just bounce, getting all that tension out of our shoulders. And when you breathe in, and then on an exhale, breathing out through the mouth. So breathing in through your nose, and exhale. So sometimes we have the tendency to go really fast, but let's find our own rhythm. So maybe I'm going a little bit faster or slower than you like to. So just tune in with what feels good to you. And let's start to use the hands as well. We can just shake off any excessive energy. Just letting go of anything that you don't need right now. You can just shake it off intentionally. And we need to do this a little bit longer than 1 minute, maybe around two or three, just to give the body some time to also integrate this movement, this shaking, that all these cells open up, let the body feel connected. And let's take the arms up as well. So you can just shake your hands up to the ceiling. Maybe you can bring them all the way to your shoulders and then up again. And I'm mildly bouncing in my knees still. Maybe I'm just keeping my hands high. All right. And then you start to bring your hands in front and over each other. Finding the maximum here without forcing ourselves. So I'm making some sort of cross and I'm taking the arms from below diagonally up to the other side. First one arm above, then the other one. And also here I feel that I've found some sort of rhythm here. It feels quite relaxed. All right, just keep on moving. And let's do it on for the chest as well. So we're going to open up with the arms up, exhale, inhale. Again, one arm and then the other arm above. So you mix it. And this might be a bit more challenging for some of us. You feel this in the shoulders. So whatever you do, try not to force yourself. Do it relaxed, but see that you can find that bounce here. Just a little bit longer. Just keeping the palms up. All right. So making a couple of neck rolls here. Going from one shoulder up and the other shoulder down. Breathing in when you go up, breathing out when you go down. And I hear all sorts of cracks here in my neck. It's really like I'm grinding something and it's really normal. So don't worry about it. Let's go to the other side as well. Inhale up, exhale down. Just a couple more rounds. And then coming back to the middle. See whether you can take your shoulders up, back and down. And let's go the other side as well. Now bring your hands to your neck. And we can just start to massage it with your fingertips around the edge of your skull. And you just massage your neck muscle. Just with your fingertips along the vertebrae. Also to your throat. Maybe you switch hands. And let's take one hand to the other side and massage that shoulder, the trapezius on top. And it's like almost like you can scrape that muscle. You can press your fingers in and just like you're playing the bass of the guitar. I sometimes say like that because it's really those strings that you hook your fingers behind. But you can also just with your whole hand, and I can lean a little bit like this so you can see it properly, squeeze that trapezius. And then let's go to the other side. And if it's too difficult or too heavy for your arm, you can always support with the other hand the elbow. So just scraping it. I like to have my hand just rest or hang like this. But as long as you keep your breath alive, just breathing into that, or to those fingers, for example. All right. Now let's continue by massaging the shoulders. Go all the way to the trapezius with your fingertips. The biceps as well. You can press your thumb into or behind that bicep. Going to the lower arm. Just squeezing the whole arm. And then maybe with your fingers hooking. And I sometimes just move my hands in the opposite direction. So the only thing I'm doing is moving my hands, and my fingertips are just staying in the same position, and therefore rolling the tendon underneath my fingertips. So there's different ways to massage, and you just find your way. As long as you squeeze it, breathe into it. Maybe also with your thumb on the inside of your wrists, the palms, the fingers, you can stretch them one by one. And obviously I'm doing it a bit more or a bit faster. And if you really think, oh, this is nice, then just go for it after this class and just give yourself a little bit more time. Let's go to the other side as well. With your left hand. In my case, I didn't say which one we would start, but let's with my left hand, my right shoulder. Going along these lines here. Massaging the triceps, the biceps. And also here I could just hold my hand around or in the height of the elbow and just move a little bit in opposite direction. If I turn my hand out, I could roll in. This is something you can really do when you are working behind the computer a lot. So you're working with the mouse, clicking, using those three tendons here. Very often you get RSI from it, like the repetitive strain injury, by moving it in a very simple and short way over and over again. It just starts to get annoyed or irritated. And with your thumb, you could massage it. It really helps to get the blood flow going, to get all these toxins out. Just a little bit longer. Also your wrist. Massaging the fingers, stretching the pinky out like this, pressing it back. Or just holding onto the fingers with your whole hand and just squeeze and rub and pull, twists. Interlace your fingers here. Press your palms out. Inhale, take your hands up. Then with your right hand, Hold on to the left wrist and reach towards the right. Pull that left hand all the way to the right side. So I'm pressing my left hip all the way to the left. My upper legs are really strong here. Exhale through the nose maybe. Inhale, come up. Hold with the left hand to the right wrist. We'll just take a little bit of time here. A couple of breaths to stretch even deeper. Feeling that stretch from your hip bone all the way up. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bring your hands behind. Interlace your fingers. Open up your chest. And then slowly start rolling forward with your hands behind you, interlaced. Those fingers. Moving it a bit left to right. Move your head. And I'm going to turn a quarter so that you can see from the side what I'm doing. And I'm keeping my knees slightly bent, also because it's just as much as I can handle. Then release those hands, start to tap with light fists on the back, along the spine, like in the middle, around the kidney area. Not too hard, obviously, but just tapping alongside the spine towards your sacrum, triangular shaped bone. Just tap it here. So when you're working behind the computer, sitting all day, it's a nice way to just get some energy here, tension out. Start to tap the back of your buttocks, the back of your legs. Keep on breathing. The sides of your legs are your IT band. Towards your calves, maybe into the knees first. The back of your knees, there's a lot going on there. And it's really nice to tap into it. And then come to your feet and turn your feet out a little bit so that you can see the arches of your feet coming up. And you can just with your fist tap into it. Start tapping into the calves, over the inside of your upper legs, towards your groin. Inhale deep through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And then just stand for a moment. And just notice with your eyes closed, your hands next to your body. Notice how the energy is running through your body right now to a more subtle sensation, tinkling sensation in your fingers maybe. Maybe you feel that warm or that heat that you just build up. All right. So you can come to the front of your mat or wherever you're standing, and you can bring your feet together, your big toes touching and your heels slightly apart. So I'm really with strong legs here. I can feel that I'm rooting my feet down into the floor, that my upper legs are engaged, my quads are fired up, and it's like tilting the pelvis, pushing the pubic bone forward a little bit, just so that you can activate your core here. Hands in front, shoulders down. Exhale all together. Inhale deep. And out. One more time in. And out. And then just on the exhale, keep exhaling. Bring your hands to the outside. Feel how your feet are strong, your legs are strong. And because I don't have space on the side, I'm going to take my hands to the front. You can do either to the sides or to the front and up. Look past your thumbs to the ceiling. And on an exhale, bring your hands together and bend forward. Your heels come out a little bit maybe. Your knees are slightly bent so your fingertips can touch the floor. Inhale with your fingertips still on the floor. You look forward, so you lengthen from the lower back. If it means that you keep your knees bent, that's fine. Exhale, bend forward again. Forehead to your shins. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale. We just move back and forth one more time. So you inhale. And then exhale, you walk both feet back into a high plank. So we activate our core straight away. You push your heels back. You can try to bring your buttocks not too high, not too low, but just in the middle. Tilt your pelvic, find your core, and maybe take the right foot up off the floor for a moment. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and drop it down. Take your left foot up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees down to the floor, and then your elbows stay close to your rib cage, and you bring your chest down and your chin. Then lengthen, push your feet back, and then press your feet into the mat so that your legs, your upper legs, start to engage and your knees come off the floor. And you bring your upper back or your upper body off the floor. So your hands, let's take them off the floor for a moment. So this is called a cobra. And a cobra doesn't have hands. So we'll just copy that snake. But on the exhale, we're going to make a variation here. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And on an inhale, you have slight help of your hands. Take your shoulders down. Keep pressing those feet into the floor and try to pull the hands back. But they stay where they are, but it's just this pulling back sensation. Feel your back muscles firing up for one more inhale. And exhale, slowly come down. Curl the toes. And via the knees, come into a child's pose with your knees as wide as the mat. Your big toes touching, pressing those hands into the mat so that you press yourself away from them, moving your hips from left to right. Bringing your hands in front, your head, forehead on the floor. We'll just take a little moment here before we move on. And just notice the relaxation, but also the compression of your hip bones and your upper legs. Can you relax your jaws, your lips, your tongue? Last exhale. And slowly coming forward. Place your hands on the floor again. Curl those toes. Press your buttocks up to the ceiling and maybe walk your feet back a little bit more. Start to walk on the spot, bending one knee, straightening the other leg. Keep watching your feet. Spread your fingers wide. Maybe you keep your knees slightly bent so that your buttocks can be pushed up to the ceiling. Now, if you have both knees slightly bent, look at your hands, spread your fingers wide, look at your feet again. And on an inhale, you're gonna round the spine whilst coming forward. Look at your hands, bring your knees down to just above the floor and press back. Straighten those legs. Inhale, come forward, round your spine. Look at your hands, bring your knees down to just above the floor, press back, straighten those legs. 2 more times, breathe in. And exhale. Breathe in. And exhale. Keep pressing those hands firmly into the floor. Step your left foot a little bit closer to the right. Exhale. And on an inhale, take that right leg back and up. Open up that hip if you can, so you can bend the right knee. Bring the right hip on top of the left. And on an exhale, bring the right foot forward in between your hands. So maybe you can help yourself. Bring the left knee down. Bring your hands into your hips. Bounce a little bit back and forth just to open up the front side, that muscle that we shorten so much while sitting behind the computer. It's a really nice stretch, this, quite safe as well. Inhale, take your hands up. And on the exhale, we bring the hands behind our head, so lightly interlaced, pressing the head against the hands. Breathe in again. And on an exhale, we bring the hips a bit further forward and lean back, but just as much as feels good. Breathing in. And out. Last time, guys, breathe in. And out. On an inhale, take your hands up. Bring your hips back a little bit. Hands in front of your chest. We twist towards the right. Now, sometimes I feel that I can't twist deep enough. So you have to pull your belly in slightly, that helps. But you can also bring your right hand on your upper leg and press it in whilst bringing the left elbow a little bit further. You don't have to be so deep, but just above the elbow, that part against the outside of your right leg, the right hand on top of the left. Pressing, twisting, curling the left toe maybe, so you can stay here, or you can come into a standing posture. So now it's also a balance. This is probably the heaviest pose that we're going to do this class. So find your breath. Make sure that your front knee is not past your front foot. Oops, I'm also like finding my balance here. Talking, teaching. Last breath here. It's a long one, eh? Exhale, slowly take the hands down. Now let's make a twist here by taking the right hand up on an inhale. Exhale, bring the right hand down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog, and just walk it again. Bending one knee, straightening the other, while spreading the fingers and clawing them into the mat. Both knees slightly bent. Placing the right foot just a bit closer to the left. Inhale, the left leg goes back and up. And see whether you can open up here. Bending the left knee, bring it all the way to the right side without tipping over. On an inhale, bring it back in the middle. Exhale, right foot comes forward. Help yourself. If you can't come forward in one time, slowly come up. Bring the right knee to the floor. I hope you're still there with me. Hands into your hips, and we just bounce. Find our range of motion. Now on an inhale, take your hands up. And this time we can do it with the elbows out. So you bring the elbows out. Look up to the ceiling, exhale. Come forward with your palms facing up. You have to use your core a little bit here. Exhale, elbows out. 2 more times. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Now on the inhale, we'll bring our hands up again and the hips back. Exhale, hands in front of our chest. And again, this time we twist towards the other side. So I'm again helping myself. Pull the belly in slightly. Left hand on top of the right. So the elbows are left elbow pressing up to the ceiling or pointing. Right elbow pointing down. Maybe this is already it for you. Maybe you can try to bring your thumbs in the middle of your chest, on your sternum. Is that your focus? Maybe you want to go a little bit deeper by curling the right toes and then straightening the right leg. Make sure the front knee is not past the front foot. Can you find your breath again? Eh? Maybe you can copy all the poses I'm doing, but you totally forget to breathe. Well, I can't see you right now, but I hope that you're listening to the sound of your breath for one more. Exhale, look down. Place your right hand on the floor. On an inhale, 1 twist. Exhale, down. Step back, downward facing dog. And then come onto your knees. Come and sit on your buttocks. And then your left leg is straight. And your right foot is on the inside of your left. Place your left hand behind you. We're going to go for a forward stretch. So your left hand is behind you. Your left leg is straight forward. Your right knee bent. Inhale, take the right hand up. And on an exhale, you're going to bring the right hand on the outside of your left shin, ankle or foot, depending on how flexible you are. Take the left hand and cross it. Bring it to the inside of your front leg. I've got my knees slightly bent here, so I'm not cheating. It's just how flexible I am. Breathe in, open up your chest. Exhale, come forward. Come deeper till you feel that you're reaching a nice, okay stretch. Breathe in again. Every time, a little bit further. Last time, breathe in. And exhale. Wait just a little bit at the end of your exhale. Then slowly come forward, bring your right hand behind you. And use the momentum here to swing that left hand over your head. The left leg is straight and on the floor with that left foot. Maybe you can look towards your right hand that is supporting you. Left hand over your head, feel that side stretch. And now maybe press your hips forward and lean back with your left hand going over or behind you. Breathe in, exhale, let's switch sides. Very well, guys. Slowly First sit, right leg is straight, left foot is bent, right hand behind you. On an inhale, the left hand goes up. And exhale, we reach forward. Just cross your hands. Just notice what feels good. Whether you want to keep your front knee slightly bent or not. But you want to try, even though it looks like my back is very rounded, I try to lengthen from the lower back and exhale, come forward. This is as much as feels good for me today. And slowly, whilst connecting with my breath, I can go a little bit deeper without hurting myself. And that's really important. We don't want to hurt ourselves. And obviously, the more often you do this, the easier it will get and the more flexible you will become. But there's always a limit or a maximum of how much you can open up. And that's also something that you can just be okay with. The last exhale here. Coming up again, placing the left hand behind you this time. Inhale, swing the right hand over your head. Maybe you look at your left hand, maybe you look at the right hand that is in the air. You can push your hips forward and reach the right arm back a little bit. Inhale, engage that right upper leg muscle. Drop your head back and slowly come back. Cross your legs, roll over your knees, and then take the right knee forwards towards the edge of the mat. So the right knee is behind your right wrists, and the right foot can go towards the left a little bit more, as much as feels good. Then look over your left shoulder and walk your left foot a little bit further back, only as much as feels good. And when you look forward again, on your fingertips, you inhale whilst walking those fingertips towards your shins or towards your front foot. And then slowly come forwards. I'm going to use a blanket for my head to rest on. You just let the gravity do all the work. Relax your jaws, your lips, your tongue. Listen to the sound of your breath. Bring your focus to that spot in between the eyebrows, just to help you calm down your mind. Last breath here. Place your hands on the floor. Curl the left toes, the back toes, and bounce back. Step the left knee forwards. Look over your right shoulder this time. Walk that right foot a little bit further back until you feel that that's enough of a stretch. If you look forward again, on your fingertips, you can inhale whilst walking the fingers towards your shin. Open up your chest. And another way to do this is to bring your hands on top of each other, bring the elbows out, and let your head rest on your hands, whatever feels good. Take your time here to really feel this pose. Can you allow yourself to relax completely? Even though it might be a bit intense, as long as you don't feel this in your knee joint itself, but more over a zone or an area, then it's fine. And again, you can also just come onto your hands and breathe through it. You don't have to go that deep. Use your intuition here. Last exhale. Come and sit on your buttocks. You've almost arrived at the end of this class. Find a comfortable cross-legged seat. Place your hands on your knees. Lengthen yourself. Relax your shoulders. Close your eyes, and just for the last couple of breaths, just notice how you feel. Maybe you want to set an intention for the rest of the day to focus more on your breath, or maybe to take a couple of breaks just to pay some attention to yourself, your energy, instead of only working. Place your hands in front of your heart if you want, and I wish you a very nice day, and Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.